Hi everybody, hope all of you are well. Today I will start a new chapter solution. All of you know that solute plus solvent is equal to solution. So most of the substances in our daily life that are mixtures. For example, brass is a mixture of copper and zinc. If the mixtures having uniform compositions and same proportion throughout the mixture, then it is called homogeneous mixture. And such homogeneous mixtures are called solutions. Now here we will discuss mainly in solution, true solution. A true solution is a homogeneous mixture of two or more substances whose composition can be varied within a certain limits. A solution consisting of two components is called a binary solution. If there is three, then it is called ternary. If there is four component, quaternary. In this way it will increase. So the component having the same physical state as the solution is called the solvent. Suppose if we think about the sugar solution. So here as we adding sugar into water, and the physical state of the solution is liquid, as solvent is also water, that is liquid. So water is called solvent, and that the sugar is called solute. Or in other sense we can say that if in solution both the components have the same physical state, then the component present in the largest quantity is called solvent and the other component is called solute. So in sugar solution, as sugar is smallest amount, okay, so it is called solute, and the quantity of water is high, so it is solvent. Or we can think about the mixture of alloy, where two metals are mixed, here both are in the same physical state. If one component is higher, that higher component is called solvent, and the lower component or lower percentage component is called the solute. Hope you can understand. Next we will discuss the 9 possible type of binary solutions. So here one thing you have to understand, that depending upon the physical state of the solute and the solvent, we have these 9 possible different types of binary solution. First we are discussing here that solute, solvent and their examples. If we take solvent as gas, then there will be 3 chances, that solute may be gas, solute may be liquid and solute may be solid. So in gas mixture, when gas is solute and gas is solvent, the example will be air. If we take liquid is solid and the gas is the solvent, then moisture in the air will be the example. If we take solid in gas, that means sublimation of solid like iodine and NH4Cl. That will be the solute and gas. Next mixture is that gas in liquid. In case of liquid also there will be 3 possibility: gas, liquid and solid. So gas in liquid, that will be aerated water containing carbon dioxide, like thumbs up, cold drinks. Okay. Liquid we can think about alcohol in water, or we can think about that acetic acid in water, that is vinegar solution. Then solid in liquid, sugar in water. Next, gas and solid, like if we adsorb hydrogen gas on palladium or platinum surface. Next is liquid in solid, that we can think about the mercury in solid silver. Mercury in solid silver, that is the amalgam of silver. Next one is solid. Solid is nothing but that alloys like brass, bronze. Okay. Next, depending upon the nature of the solvent, we have the following 3 main types of solution. One is gaseous solution, all gases and vapors from homogeneous mixtures, and therefore mixtures of gases are regarded as solutions. Here is a gaseous solution where oxygen, carbon dioxide amount is less, so they are called solute, and nitrogen amount is highest, that is why it is called solvent. Liquid solution. In liquid solution, these solutions can be attained by mixing solid or gases in liquids or two substances which are themselves liquids. One important thing, that if we take sodium and potassium metal on mixing in equal proportion, they will form a liquid solution at room temperature. Next, we will discuss that solid solution. many solids can form solution. This type and are formed by mixing two solid components. Okay, solid solutions may be two types. One here it is given that substitutional solid, another is interstitial solution. One is substitutional solid solution, another is interstitial solution. In substitutional solid solution, atoms, molecules or ions of one substance occupy the site of the other similar substances in its crystal lattice, and these type of solutions are generally formed by the metal atoms of similar size. Example, copper and gold can form a substitutional solid solution. Here we have seen that here one diagram is there. From this diagram we can able to see that these shaded atoms are solute and others that round shaped particles are called solvent. So this is substitutional solid solution. Here one the black sphere substituted the position of the other sphere. And next we will discuss the interstitial solution. This type of solutions are formed when atoms of the one kind occupy the voids that exist between the atoms of the host lattice. We can think about the tungsten carbide. Tungsten carbide is extremely hard substance and used in making cutting and grinding tools. Here we also observe this from this diagram, the interstitial position, the solid particle take the position. So this is called interstitial solution. Next we will discuss that the expression or expressing the concentration of solution. First one, we have to think about the solubility. The amount of solute in grams that can be dissolved in 100 gram of a solvent to form a saturated solution at a definite temperature is called the solubility. The concentration of solution can be experienced in several different ways. Okay, that I am showing. First one is that weight percentage or mass percentage. Mass percentage. Here we can think that weight by weight, okay, or weight percentage. If a solution contains two components A and B, then mass percentage of A is equal to mass percentage of A, that will be equal to mass of A divided by mass of A plus mass of B. Mass of A plus mass of B into 100. Now we can take one example so that we can easily understand that 2% weight by weight, 2% weight by weight sodium chloride solution, NaCl solution. That means that in this solution 2 gram NaCl is present and 98 gram water is present. So this is a water solution, aqueous solution, what I am telling. So here the mass percentage of sodium chloride will be, that will be mass percentage of sodium chloride will be 2 by 2 plus 98 into 100. That will be equal to 2%. So you can easily understand. Next one is the weight by volume percentage. In weight by volume percentage, that we can easily think about one example, that a 2% weight by volume of sodium chloride means a solution containing 2 gram NaCl in 100 ml solution. Okay, you can understand. So weight by volume percentage equal to, we can write that weight of solute in gram, weight of solute in gram divided by that volume of solution in ml, volume of solution in ml into 100. So here again I am telling you that if you think about the 2% solution of NaCl, that means 2 gram NaCl is present in 100 ml solution. Another is called volume percentage. In case of volume percentage, we are considering two liquids A and B. So volume percentage of A will be volume percentage A will be equal to volume of A divided by volume of A plus volume of B into 100. Now here we can think about one example that 20% volume by volume solution of alcohol in water. That means in this solution 20 ml alcohol and 80 ml water is there. So here if we write, then we can easily understand that volume percentage of alcohol will be 20 divided by 20 plus 80 into 100, that will be 20%. So we can easily understand from this example. Next we will discuss the parts per million, that is called ppm. Parts per million of a component is equal to mass of the component divided by total mass of the solution into 10 to the power 6. So ppm of a component is equal to that mass of the component divided by the total mass of the solution into 10 to the power 6. If we think about one example, then we can easily understand that 500 ml of water contains 2 into 10 to the power 3 gram, 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram of chlorine. So 500 ml water contains 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram of chlorine. Then here we have to find out the ppm of Cl2. ppm of Cl2. So what will be the ppm? So here we have to write that the mass of the component is given 2 into 10 to the power minus 3 gram, and here volume is 500 ml. If we take the density of water is equal to 1 gram per cc or 1 gram per ml, then it will be the 500 gram. So divided by 500 into 10 to the power 6. If we calculate, we will get the value 4. So in this way we can easily calculate the parts per million of a component. Next we will discuss the strength of a solution. Now strength of a solution is equal to weight of solute in gram divided by the volume of solution in liters. For example, we can think about the strength of 500 ml solution of NaCl containing 4 gram NaCl. So in 500 ml 4 gram NaCl is there. So definitely in 1 liter there will be 8 gram NaCl. So the strength of the solution will be 8 gram per liter. The strength of the NaCl solution will be 8 gram per liter. Next we will discuss the normality. Normality is generally expressed by capital N, okay, and it is the number of gram equivalents of a solute dissolved per liter of solution. So N is equal to number of gram equivalent of a solute divided by volume of solution in liter. Volume of solution in liter. Now we can think one example, then we can easily understand. Generally, we have to know how to calculate the equivalent weight or gram equivalent weight. In case of acid, the equivalent weight will be the molecular weight of the acid divided by the basicity of the acid. If we take the example of sulfuric acid, then we can easily understand that the molecular weight of sulfuric acid will be 98. Suppose in a solution 49 gram sulfuric acid is dissolved in 1 liter solution. Definitely the normality of the solution will be 1. Now what is normal solution? A normal solution of a substance is that solution which contains 1 gram equivalent of it per liter of solution. So if you dissolve 1 equivalent of the solute in 1 liter solution, that is called 1 normal solution. Whenever we are writing n by 2, that means it is semi-normal, n by 10 it is deci, n by 100 it is called centinormal. When we are writing 5n, this is called pentanormal, and 10n is equal to decanormal. So in this way, you can easily understand the concept of normality. Then we will discuss the molarity. Molarity is generally expressed by capital M, and it is the number of moles of solute dissolved per liter solution. So here M is equal to, we can write that number of moles of solute, divided by the volume in liters, volume of solution in liters. Now here, if we take one example like sulfuric acid, if we dissolve 1 mole sulfuric acid, that means 98 gram in 1 liter solution, okay, then it will be called 1 molar solution, okay. So next we will discuss that the relationship between molarity and normality. Relation between normality and molarity. Generally, molarity is equal to normality into the equivalent weight divided by molecular weight. Here we can take one example, then we can easily understand. Suppose in a solution 49 gram sulfuric acid is dissolved in 1 liter solution. That means its normality is equal to 1. So this is 1 normal solution. Now we have to convert this 1 normal solution to molarity. How much molarity? In 1 normal H2SO4 is equal to how much molarity? So here molarity will be equal to of H2SO4 in this case is equal to, the normality is 1. Now we know that equivalent weight of that acid is equal to 49 and molecular weight is equal to that 98. So if we cut it 2, that is at 9 molar, that is m by 2 molar. So 1 normal sulfuric acid is equal to m by 2 molar. Definitely if we take 98 gram sulfuric acid dissolved in 1 liter solution, Okay, then if you 1 molar, if you want to calculate the normality, it will come 2. Okay, so you can easily can convert from normality to molarity and molarity to normality. So next we will discuss the molar solution. Molar solution of a substance is that which contains 1 gram molecular weight of a mole of it per liter of the solution. So if we dissolve 1 mole substance in 1 liter solution, then it is called 1 molar solution. We can think about the oxalic acid. In case of oxalic acid, the formula is CHH dot twice H2. Its molecular weight will be 126. Now, if we dissolve 126 gram oxalic acid in 1 liter solution, then it is called 1 molar solution. Hope you can understand. Next, we will discuss the formality. Formality, it is the number of gram formula weight of the ionic solute dissolved per liter solution. Suppose in 1 liter solution, if we dissolve 1 formula weight of any substance, then it is called 1 formal solution, and in case of formality, it is generally denoted by capital F. Formality is generally denoted by capital F. We can think about that sodium chloride. Its formula will be 58.5 gram. So if we dissolve 58.5 gram NaCl in 1 liter solution, then it is called 1 formal solution. And next is the molality. Molality is generally denoted by small m. It is the number of moles of solute dissolved in 1000 gram of solvent. So this strength is very important, okay, that you have to remember. So here in other cases we are telling about that the number of gram equivalent weight or mole dissolved in 1 liter solution, but here it is the number of moles of solute dissolved in 1000 gram of solvent. Now what is molar solution? It is the solution which contains 1 gram molecular weight substance in 1000 gram of solvent. A molar solution of a solute in water is more concentrated than a molar solution. Okay. Suppose if we think about the 1 molar solution and 1 molar solution, then we can easily understand in 1 molar solution that 1 mole substance dissolved in 1 liter solution. The solvent will be less than 1000 gram, okay, if it is water. But in case of molar solution, here the solute is dissolved in 1000 gram solution. So which one is more concentrated? Definitely molar is more concentrated than molar. Next we will discuss the mole fraction. It is the ratio of the number of moles of one component to the total number of moles of the substance in the solution. If a binary solution contains N1 moles of the solvent and N2 moles of solute, okay, or we can think about the gaseous mixture where N1 and N2 mixture is there, N1 mole gas mixed with N2 moles. Then the mole fraction X1 will be, in one case will be N1 by N1 plus N2, and in other case, other gas mole fraction will be X2 is equal to N2 by N1 plus N2. If we add this X1 plus X2, always it will come as 1. Now this mole fraction unit is quite useful in the calculation involving gas mixtures. We know that one very important thing now I am discussing, that we know that volume of liquid changes with change in temperature. If we increase the temperature, the volume will increase, and if we decrease the temperature, the volume will decrease. Now whatever concentration terms we have discussed, that molarity, normality, formality, all are volume dependent, so they are also temperature dependent. Okay, so if we change the temperature, their value will change. So molarity, normality and formality are temperature dependent. On the other hand, mass percentage, that is weight by weight, parts per million, that is weight by weight, molality and mole fraction are temperature independent, because there is no volume factor, all are mass, they are not depending on temperature, so they are not depending on, so they are independent, temperature independent quantity. Next we will discuss one very important equation that is generally required already you have used in class 11, that acid base titration, that is called normality equation. If V1 ml of a solution of normality N1, if you want to dilute to volume to V2, and if the normality of the diluted solution is N2, then you can write that N1 into V1 is equal to N2 into V2, and this equation is called the normality equation. Normality equation. In the same way, if we write that M1 into V1 is equal to M2 into V2, that is called molarity equation. In this case, V1 ml of molarity M1 solution are diluted to volume V2 ml, and the molarity of the diluted solution is M2. Then we can write M1 V1 is equal to M2 V2. However, if the reaction between two solutions is studied in terms of their molarities, first we have to balance the reaction, and then molarity equation will be written as M1 V1 by N1 is equal to M2 V2 by N2. Now what are the N1 N2s? N1 is the number of moles of reactant 1 and N2 is the number of moles of the reactant 2 in the balanced equation. Now one very important thing you have to remember, suppose if we take that N1 strength of a solution, okay, of volume V1 of acid, and mixing the another different strength N2 strength of the volume V2, if they are non-reacting, then what will be the strength of the resulting mixture? So on mixing two non-reacting solutions, final normality or molarity can be calculated in this way, that is N1 V1 plus N2 V2 is equal to N3 V3, where V3 is equal to V1 plus V2. In the same way, in case of molarity, we can write M1 V1 plus M2 V2 is equal to M3 V3, where V3 is equal to V1 plus V2. So in this way, we can easily calculate, okay, the strength of the mixing of two non-reacting solutions. Okay, so hope you can understand. And next day we will discuss or next class we will discuss the numericals of this part. Okay, so today up to this. Thank you.